Wow, it has been a while. Welcome back to Let's Build a Steampunk City. I know some of you may be thinking, where the hell did this guy go? He just fell off the face of the earth and stopped making videos. There are two reasons as to why that happened. First reason, I'm a college student, or at least I was. I was finishing up my senior year, and I was swamped with work, and now we're done with that, so no more college work, got some free time. The second reason was I had played around with building the Steampunk City in the sky, and the buildings would have to be built on planetoids, and these little planetoids, they would have to be massive to support all these different buildings, and I just didn't feel like the Sky City theme worked out as far as a city build. So that is something I want to revisit and maybe do a Sky Castle build, but with that out of the question, I didn't have a theme for the Steampunk City, so I just sort of lost interest, and I was too busy to commit time to it, so it just sort of fizzled out. All that being said now, you can see there's clearly some building going on in the background, and it's clearly not a sky either, it's the ocean. So a while back, someone commented on the first episode, the Marksman Ranger, asking if we could do a Atlantis build after the Steampunk City. Now, with the shaders I use, it would be pretty much impossible to see the structures underneath the water, so it's not really realistic to build a underwater city if you're not going to be able to view it. But that got me thinking, because there's a certain steampunk city that is built underwater, Rapture. So I thought, you know what? I'll combine the elements. It's not going to be an underwater city, it'll be built on the water. A canal steampunk city. But then I had to choose the palette, and as far as colors go, I haven't really used the quartz block in a while. I had used it on a circle city a while back, so it's probably about time I made another city made out of quartz. So this project has turned from a normal old sky steampunk city into an imperial steampunk city sitting on the water. But that is quite a mouthful, so for the ease of the title of the series, it will just remain Let's Build a Steampunk City. So, with all that out of the way, you can see, well, let's dive into the build. You can see that I have mapped out our canal city. It is broken up into many different districts via the canals, which were outlined originally with a blue wool and then cut into to allow the water to flow through. So if it's not obvious by now or by the title of the video, we are building the foundations of our city. Right now I am isolating one district and I'm coming up with the theme of how these different districts are going to look. They're all going to be the same, but I got to come up with the foundation theme. So the main sidewalk is just going to be a normal stone half brick, and then everything else is going to be using that quartz block because we want to go for that imperial vibe. And then I use the orange wool to go ahead and outline some buildings that we'll be placing in this district. Some of you may be wondering, this looks a lot crappier than what I'm used to watching, and that's because I forgot to put on my shaders. So the first bit of this, the recording client did not have my shader pack on, so don't have that beautiful lighting effect or water effect. But thankfully, I finally realized that it's missing, and I was able to turn it on for the rest of the build. When I'm doing this basic stuff right here, not really much to describe, just decorating the canals a bit, but I wanted to talk about something else. To help avoid with burnout, I want to do this on a weekly basis, make new videos for these Minecraft builds. And I want to try and avoid a burnout of starting a new project, like a massive desert city build, and then immediately starting the Steampunk City build right after. I don't want to have that burnout. So what I'm going to do in between big builds is I'm going to have a lot of mini projects. So one will be maybe like a 2 or 3 parter of building that sky fortress castle sort of thing. And what I'm asking of you guys is if you want any not massive city builds, but smaller builds, recommend them, and I'll try them out. Maybe some massive portal, nether portal sort of thing. I don't know. Be creative. Give me your recommendations. I'll give a go at it. Getting back into the build though, you can see that this walkway, unlike the others that border the canals, are raised. That's because this is the outside bit of our city. Now, the Steampunk City is built on the water and doesn't really have any need for walls, unless, there's an enemy fleet invading. So by raising this platform, I get that wall effect that can also provide a strategic benefit. So, let's say, that fleet is invading, guards can go on this wall, shoot their guns, and defend their city from the invaders. And now we're on the city side of this elevated platform. You can see just a simple stair pattern there, still sticking with that half block. Since the half block doesn't really have stairs, and the normal stone stairs does not look like this theme, it's just a very elongated staircase, and it works just like normal stairs, so it's perfect. Due to the detail of these walls, I thought it would be a lot quicker just to copy and paste them, and then go back and fix up the minor details of where certain patterns didn't mix and match right. And then I had to adjust the walkway there a bit and close up that building because it did not line up. Now we're designing the exterior of the wall. I want it to light up so you can see the city when you're coming in, sailing in. You don't want to run into a wall if you're a sailor. So I put those glow stones and get that nice lighting effect that at nighttime it looks amazing. It might be hard to see due to our shader pack, but I had also installed 2x2 columns of the quartz pillar to help support this elevated walkway, because it's not actually built on top of those stone bricks we had initially placed. And as we pan by, I had copied and flipped that and pasted over to the other side, so we now have two identical districts. Now these districts won't be the same, industry, or even have the same buildings there. And, even the initial layout of the districts will change, but as long as we have that theme consistent. And then I went ahead and copy and pasted it over to all the districts. And now we're working on the simple bridge that will connect all these districts together, which you could sail your nice little boat underneath. Due to the limited amount of space I was working with, since the canals were only so wide, the bridges had to be small and simplistic, but tall enough to where you could sail a boat underneath, which we achieved with this bridge design. As you can see, I believe, yeah, there I go, underneath the bridge. And with that, we have finished the base foundation of our Steampunk City. Now we have done it for 6 of the 8 districts. The smaller purple district is going to be a massive tower, while the larger unfinished district is going to be the harbor, and maybe the governor's house. As for what we will be tackling next week, it will be the industrial district. So if you like this video, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye!